tryna say I'm only in the meeting. Got a code with my dogs, can get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen. Amen.
Welcome in, everybody. As you can see, we are super excited, and the reason why is we got new playoff series, which means new basketball to talk about. Today, we got two game ones. We got the Celtics facing the Knicks. We got the Thunder facing the Nuggets. JJ, I know that first round for pretty much all the series, but these two games and these four teams in particular, some good, some bad, a lot to take away from it, and a lot to take away from the regular season matchups. What are you most excited for to see so far today?
I'm excited to see what the Knicks can do just because they got their ass whooped in the first regular season series. So I want to see if they make any changes, but they got to show something here. When it comes to the Nuggets and Thunder, I'm expecting the Thunder to take care of business for that series, but curious to see if the Nuggets want to blitz Shea, but we'll talk about that later.
Yep, for sure we will. We'll start off with the Knicks and Celtics. Obviously, we're going to talk more about game one in particular, but I'm not going to lie, I don't see a lot for the Knicks to do in this series. I guess this already is talking about game one, but the Celtics are probably going to do what they did in the regular season matchup, where they put Porzingis on Josh Hart, leave him open, and have him just roam around and help be in position to contest every shot that's inside the perimeter, which means Jason Tatum's going to be on Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns does not do good with the forward defending him. It basically renders his floor spacing useless as long as there's somebody like Porzingis to roam inside. And then Jalen Brunson does not have the greatest history against guys like Drew Holiday and Derek White because they don't foul very much. They don't. And obviously Brunson that's what he wants to do. He wants to foul bait you a lot. So he ends up stepping into a lot of long distance threes, especially when he gets switched on to Porzingis. He doesn't try and drive him Porzingis. If he gets that switch, he just shoots over him. Porzingis kind of dares him to, and he falls for it every time. If you look at his three-point volume versus Boston compared to every other team, it is much higher. So expect a lot of shots from distance from Brunson. Cat's probably going to be having trouble with Tatum on him and then won't be able to drive with Porzingis down there. A lot of it is going to depend on Josh Hart and what he's able to do on the offensive end. And, I mean, I feel like we've seen this movie time and time again where he'll make his shots in spots, but if you're relying on him to score in bunches, you're probably not going to get it.
Yeah. I think for the Celtics, X factor has to be Drew Holiday. Both ends of the floor, he's going to be very key here. He has to go defend Brunson, and on the other end, on offense, he has to go score against Brunson. They got to hide Brunson somewhere. It's going to be Drew, and I think he has been aggressive during the regular season in that matchup, and I think that's going to continue tonight.
I'm 100% with you. It's going to be a lot about Brunson, as it always is, but Celtics matchup hunt more than almost anybody in the league. It's kind of what the staple of their offense is just matchup hunting and three-point shooting. Brunson is not exactly somebody you want on the floor as a team defense against a team like that. So it should be a lot of trouble for the Knicks, both in this game and in this series. Where I see potential for them to steal a game or two is going to be Mikal Bridges, because I think we didn't see him much last series. We didn't have to, but they obviously paid big money for him. And in a series where OG Anunoby is going to have to be defending Tatum, it's probably going to be gas. Brunson's going to be matchup hunted and doesn't really have a good matchup offensively. Cat doesn't have a good matchup offensively. This is kind of feels like where you want to be able to cash out on those 5 first-round picks you traded him for. And I can't say for sure whether that's going to happen or not. That's kind of up to him and Tibbs. But if I'm supposed to pick an X factor for the Knicks, it's probably Mikal Bridges, because I think Josh Hart's the easy answer because he kind of has to, and the way that the Celtics are treating him. But Mikal's the one that has the potential to break a game open for him, in my opinion.
And if he's shooting 14, if he's getting 14 points a game in the regular season series matchup, and he carries that over to the playoffs, it's not going to cut it.
No.
He needs like 17 to 20 points per game here if they want to at least be competitive.
All right. Is there anything else we're forgetting, or should we move on?
I think we can move on.
All right. Nuggets and Thunder. Obviously, Nuggets just came off of Game 7 2 days ago. Meanwhile, the Thunder, how many days of rest have they had? I think they might have had more than a full week. They're at home.
They've been on spring break for a while.
They went to Cancun in the middle of the playoffs and just came back for the next series. But it's a 10-point. It's another big spread, 10-point spread in this one as well. This one is, I think, pretty justified. Normally, teams coming off of Game 7 don't fare well in the Game 1 of the next round, especially when I think they're playing a team as good as the Thunder. I will say the series as a whole, this one's probably going to be closer than the Celtics one, but there are some troubles for us to talk about on mostly the Denver side. So we'll get into there. The first one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the one game everybody was healthy. Obviously, it's harder to blitz Shai when Jalen Williams, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein, all of them are healthy. And Shai went for like 40 points. I think they won by 24. They pulled away late. And then the next game, I think Jalen Williams was out. And then they were blitzing Shai a lot.
He got hurt in the first half.
Yep, he got hurt early. They were blitzing Shai a lot, and they had a lot more success. They won that game. It was the second game of a back-to-back between the two. But obviously, circumstances were a lot different in that one. So what do you think is going to happen in this one now that both teams are healthy again?
They're going to have to definitely mix up their coverages. I mean, you want to slow down Shai as much as possible. But at the same time, you're going to have to end up giving something up. Like, you can't stop everything, right? So
Yep.
probably going to have to live with J-Dub probably doing what he does. But you don't want SGA to beat you. That's going to be the main thing. So they're going to mix in some blitzing because it was effective when they did it, even while J-Dub was in the game before he got hurt. I think it is going to lead to probably some Lou Dort shooting, probably Chet from the perimeter as well, because at some points in the game, they were very aggressive, just two on the ball as soon as he crossed half court, forced literally anyone else to beat them. And then I think offensively, I think Jokic is going to have to be a 30 points per game kind of guy here.
Has to. They don't have a chance, because I was just about to bring up the next thing, which goes really well with it. Lou Dort is about to pummel Jamal Murray.
Yep.
Jamal Murray doesn't do well against Lou Dort, and now we get a Lou Dort in the playoffs who's probably going to see like 36 minutes. I've worried for Jamal Murray's mental health because he's going to be in hell for this series. I'm very excited to watch. I wouldn't be excited if I was Jamal Murray. So I think he has a big problem, a big Lou Dort problem, Dortcher chamber. And then Chet and Aaron Gordon, probably that's another matchup that I'm really excited to see because I think both of them they're normally the guys that are the X factor for each of their teams, but now they're there to kind of cancel each other out, and it's just going to be a battle. So I'm excited to see that one as well. And then you got Shai's going to get a bunch of attention. Jokic versus Hartenstein. I feel like that it's going to have to be Jokic. I don't know how much help OKC's going to send his way. Obviously, we saw the Clippers mix it up a lot. Through the course of 7 games, we're probably going to see him mix it up a lot. I don't think they send help with Hartenstein. I think they're going to let him have it.
I wouldn't even be surprised if we see OKC go into their zone defense. They don't do it often, but when they do mix it in, like they've had some success throughout the season. So I'm curious if they want to try it. I know that game 1 is always going to be a fill-out game, especially I know they're probably going to be a little bit rusty starting off the first half, but then they'll probably, get back on track and do what they do. But, I think we're going to see like a mix of different things from both teams. I think this game is really going to be like a little chess match, especially because Nuggets, they don't have the same coaches when they last played.
Yep, that's true.
And, it's going to be a real guessing game, but we just have a bunch of options that we think they probably will do.
Yep.
But we just don't know which ones they're going to stick with.
I also think Denver's going to try and slow this game down as much as possible, even not coming off of Game 7 where the other team's significantly more rested than you are. I think they're at a disadvantage if they let this game get into the open court because people talk about how good OKC's been this year. A lot of it has been because of transition. Like they're a very good half-court team, don't get me wrong, but they're like historic efficiency and all that stuff. It's because of their transition work, both defensively and offensively. So if you're Denver, that's for Denver, who's one of the slowest paced teams in the league and wants to be in the half court on both sides of the ball, that's how you lose that game is if you let them get into the transition. So I think they're going to do everything they can to slow the pace down in this one. I don't know if they're going to be successful, but I do think that is kind of what is in the game plan for Denver.
Yeah, I think they'll have much more success stopping OKC and then like forcing just more half court offense.
Yep. All right, let's get to the parlay.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to start things off with OKC minus 10 on the spread. I think the stat, I'm going off the top of my head, but it's the reason we took this. Teams coming off of game 7 are 16-30 against the spread in the next game and game 1 of the next game. I couldn't find the splits for when they're specifically on the road or specifically when the other team has 5 extra days of rest or whatever it is. I imagine it only helps our cases if you are able to find it. And then correlated with that, we did put Chet Holmgren to get 8+ rebounds in this lay. For those who have followed me on Twitter for the last couple months, you know about the system of taking Aaron Gordon's primary defender over rebound, since he's in the dunk. He's either in the dunker spot or in the opposite corner, and teams don't really respect his 3-point shot. Chet Holmgren defended him for the 6 minutes that they were on the floor together in the first game before Aaron Gordon got hurt. Chet Holmgren was defending him 56% of the time, which is a pretty healthy amount. If that can extrapolate for the whole game, that's pretty damn good. And in those 6 minutes, he had 3 rebounds. He finished with 8 rebounds in that game, despite Aaron Gordon leaving early and despite foul trouble. And part of that is because when Hartenstein's not on the floor, he's also guarding Jokic, who is the center, who likes to rebound. So 8+ rebounds should be light. And then we also added Jrue Holiday for 10+ points. He's going to get the Jalen Brunson matchup, which means he's going to get the ball. Celtics matchup hunt. It's either going to be getting the ball directly to Jrue Holiday and letting him go to work against Brunson, or getting him involved in the pick and roll, both as the ball handler, as the screener, getting Jalen Brunson in the action. And either it's going to be the other guy getting doubled, whether it's Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown or Porzingis, and Jrue Holiday leaks out open, or they don't send extra help onto Jrue Holiday and he scores himself. So plus 585 with the boost on FanDuel. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. And make sure you guys like and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss our video for tomorrow and every day after that. We're always trying to give you guys the best analysis we can. If you guys have any recommendations, as always, drop them in the comments. And we'll see you guys on the next show. Take care, everybody.